Good day, I'm Theodore Henry, and this is your JIS News for Friday, August 12, 2022. Over 2,500 residential, commercial and civil infrastructure in and around Black River and St. Elizabeth now have consistent access to potable water. That's thanks to the recent commissioning of the $129 million Sandy Bank to Black River Replacement Pipeline project. Installation of the pipeline, which runs from Sandy Ground to the Black River High School, is an initiative of the National Water Commission, NWC. It involved the replacement of an 8-inch asbestos cement transmission main, putting an end to chronic leakage from the old system. The project is part of government's ongoing $7 billion program to improve the island's water infrastructure. Prime Minister Andrew Holness asserts that while government improves efficiency in water supply, Jamaicans need to stop practices such as theft, which have reduced the NWC's ability to supply the commodity.
We will not have enough revenues to actually improve the system and actually bring the water to you unless we are able to reduce the level of non-revenue water, which can be sometimes up to 50% of the revenue of NWC, meaning that the NWC in some areas would lose 50% of its revenues, what you pay in water rates, to either leaks or theft. How could any business run like that?
The Pedro Keys will be declared a protected area in this, the island's 60th year of independence. Prime Minister Andrew Holness made the announcement at a recent unveiling of signage designating the 207.7 square kilometer Black River Morass in St. Elizabeth a protected area. Mr. Holness says he intends to make a submission to Cabinet in the coming weeks to have the Pedro Keys Declaration actioned. He says that with this designation, 30% of the island's ecologically sensitive spaces will be covered by legislation.
This is an important milestone in Jamaica's 60th in terms of our commitment to environmental protection and development. So here it is, protected for the legacy for generations to come.
Pedro Keys will join the Cockpit Country, which was declared a protected area in 2017, and the Black River Morass, which was designated in 2021. Minister of Health and Wellness, Dr. Christopher Tufton, has committed to partnering with Jamaica's Stroke Alliance to establish dedicated stroke units in some of the island's major hospitals. These units will focus on stroke prevention and minimizing long-term effects of strokes.
My commitment is to do at least 3 units at the major hospitals, University, KPH and Cornwall Regional in the next year or so, working with the Jamaica Stroke Alliance.
Dr. Tufton points out that in 2021, over 7,300 Jamaicans had a stroke, with over 2,400 deaths, making stroke the leading cause of death in the country.
A lot of it is lifestyle or consumption habits, diet, exercise. Some of it is hereditary. But what is very, very clear is that it requires urgent attention.
Minister Tufton made the announcement in Sao Paulo, Brazil, where he is representing Jamaica at the 3rd Latin American Ministerial Meeting on Stroke as part of the Global Stroke Alliance 2022 meeting. Meanwhile, the health minister is pointing to the possible need for a shift in Jamaica's birth rate to support the country's sustainable development goals. Dr. Tufton, who was speaking at the Mandeville Regional Hospital, reveals that last year the country had just over 30,000 births, with a neonatal mortality of 15%, higher than the benchmark rate of 10 to 12%. Coupled with an average birth per mother rate of less than 2, he says the data is showing a trend towards a potential decline in the population.
It means that we have a population that is currently almost net neutral and on the verge of declining. When you take net migration and the birth rate, it means that Jamaica has a population of approximately 3 million. Over time, at this rate of births and live births and healthy births, we'll see a decline potentially of its population.
According to the health minister, this will have significant socioeconomic implications for the labor force and competitiveness and can undermine the country's capacity to realize its full potential. He says the data will have to be examined closely and measures put in place to address the issues such as improved pre- and postnatal care for mothers and their babies. And finally, Minister of State in the Office of the Prime Minister, Homer Davis, is hailing the partnership between the residents of Roehampton St. James and the Jamaica Social Investment Fund, JIS, to implement measures for protecting children as they traverse to and from school. Minister Davis was speaking at the recent groundbreaking ceremony for the Safe Passage project at Roehampton Primary School.
It's really a very special day for us all here today because this Safe Passage project at the Roehampton Primary School, it forms part of the measures to give parents and students a peace of mind, knowing very well that there is a safe space in the precincts of their institution.
The Safe Passage project is part of JIS's Integrated Community Development Project Phase 2 and aids in the rehabilitation of roads and other infrastructure in the vicinity of schools. The initiative will include the construction of a bus stop, sidewalks, guardrails, school fencing, traffic signals, and pedestrian crossing, as well as the painting of decorative murals. It is being funded by the government at a cost of $20 million and is expected to be completed in October of this year.
Ladies and gentlemen, let us continue to invest in the development of our children. I suspect this is the beginning of greater things to come.
Minister Davis also officially opened the Roehampton Green Space and Park. It was also developed by JISF under its Integrated Community Development Project with joint funding from the government. And that's it for JIS News Today. I'm Theodore Henry. Thanks for watching.